with just one hand. Flip, flip, flip. Drop. Alright. Yeah, my guy. Okay, what's going on, future me? Today, it's kind of a weird milestone day. So it is January 2nd, 2022. Happy New Year. I have a little mustache. Yeah, I'm probably gonna shave it. But I'm proud of myself for growing it. I mean, oh wow, I also have from here it's like, wow, his skin's looking pretty good. And then I move up and you're like, oh my god, look at how awful his skin is. Yeah, with my little mustache and my beanie, I look like I should only be talking about IPAs, you know, like, oh yeah, I mean, I like mine infused with the peel of a grape or whatever, you know? Something I don't understand about beer is like, they take the worst parts of food to put in beer. Like a very common thing to have in beer is orange peel, and it's like, my guy, have you ever tried an orange before? What part are you throwing away? Beer is yucky. So, anyways, like I was saying, it's January 2nd, and the reason why that's a milestone day in my journey to SNL before 30 is because today marks 1,000 days until I turn 30 years old. Last time I was on here, I was walking through the streets of Los Angeles talking about how my goal was to be on SNL by 30 on my 27th birthday, right? And my whole thing is like about progression and how am I doing and stuff. And that's what this is about. It's like a check-in. It's like a checkup. It's like you guys are a prostate doctor and you got your finger and I'm just bending over and I'm ready to cough for about 10 minutes. I've never had a prostate exam done. I think that's how it works. So, let's check in. So, one of my things I said I was gonna move to Atlanta. My wife and I are in Atlanta. We moved to Atlanta. We found an apartment. It was such a pain in my ass. I mean, as a guy who's never had a prostate exam, I don't know what the greatest pain in the ass could be. That was a terrible joke. But you know what? Hey, we're riffing. We're going today. But it was awful. Because in LA, normally you can find an apartment in like a week, maybe 2 weeks. But in Atlanta, it takes so long to find apartments here. But we found a place. It's okay. It's not great. It's definitely not great. Great is not the first word I would use. Good. Okay. You know what? Okay, you know how I was talking about on my face? How it looks good from a distance? That's what our apartment is. Our apartment is my acne-ridden face. From a distance, if you take a quick glance, you're like, that's kind of handsome. But then you get closer, and you're like, good God! What is wrong with this place? The upkeep here is terrible! Everything is uneven. All the doors are like a little wonky. There's like 3 inches of door gap beneath every door. And you know, these are like, you know, big first world problem things I'm complaining about, you know, where you're like, the drawers are weird. Not a lot of cabinet space, but we found a place, it's fine. I've been going for 5 minutes already, dang. So I wanted to move, we moved. And the reason I wanted to move, I needed to fix that, but I don't have OCD. The reason I wanted to move was because this idea of doing stand-up in a small, big city. Or a big, small city. I'm not sure which one it is. But either way, like, Atlanta is a big city, but it's not New York and it's not LA. And so it was the idea of like less competition, less comedians, more chances to do comedy because of that. And honestly, that's what I found. One thing I will say, open mics here, for the most part, are completely free. In Los Angeles, every open mic costs $5. And you're like, $5? That's not that bad. So let's say you do 2 mics a night, 3 times a week, right? That's 6 performances. Here in Atlanta, that's pretty much free. Maybe every now and then you have to get a drink, right? Maybe you have to get a bit of food because it's at a bar or pizza place, right? So maybe you're spending $15 a week. Sometimes no money a week, right? But in LA, if you do that 2 times a day, 3 times a week, that's $60 a week. I'm gonna need to do the math a little bit here. That's $240 a month. I'm getting close. So that's 2,400. Oh, I'm so close. I can do this math, me! 2,400. So I gotta remember the 400 because it's 480. $2,880! $2,880! Show it on the screen, my guy. That's, I don't make a lot of money. You can't be doing that. So the mics are free. People seem to notice you a little more here. Like if you're good, they seem to be like, hey man, that was good. And something else, people are a little nicer. And I've been saying this a lot. People are just a little nicer here in Atlanta. Just like in general. Now here's my thing. People in LA are not mean. They just don't care. I'm sure that for the most part, the majority of people in LA are really nice once you get to know them. But they don't care. Because a lot of people in LA are, they're focusing on their career, rightfully so. They want to be an actor, they want to be a singer, they want to be in finance, they want to do whatever. And so like, if you're not going to forward their career, sometimes they're like, I don't have time for this relationship. And that's kind of not for everyone, but that's kind of the vibe that LA gives off. Whereas here in Atlanta, it's like every open mic I've been to, I've met multiple people. And we just vibe, we just have conversations, we just have conversations. Is that so much to ask just to have a conversation? We just have conversations, and it's nice. I really like it. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying the Atlanta comedy scene. It's been a blast so far. But now that I'm in Atlanta, I've been here. We moved out of LA September 30th. We got this apartment November 1st. There was a month where we lived in Alabama, Roll Tide, and we lived in my brother-in-law's basement, which we're super thankful for. Got to hang out with the nephews. But shout out to the nephews. The other thing I was talking about was like, for some reason that kind of scared me. Am I doing what I want to be doing to further myself to get towards SNL? From a stand-up point, I would say yes. I've been performing a lot of stand-up out here. I've been doing a lot of open mics. I've been having a great time. I've been doing my impressions and stuff. So from that standpoint, I have been furthering myself to getting towards SNL. But from like a social media standpoint, I definitely have not. I'm terrible at posting on Instagram. I'm terrible at posting on TikTok. I hate TikTok with all my heart. It's fun to scroll on, but the second you post, you see a video of a guy like flipping a pancake, right? And it has 1.7 million likes. And there's nothing to it. It's just a song and a guy flipping a pancake. 1.7 million likes. I make a little impression sketch, whatever, pour my heart into it, edit it on TikTok. Oh man, this is a lol. Show my wife, oh that's so funny. Send it to my friend Sam. Sam's like, oh man, this is hilarious. I send it out to the internet and it gets like 3 views. Yeah, not so great. Not a great feeling, but that shouldn't stop me from posting. Or maybe it should, I don't know. But I'm doing this again, which is good to kind of like, remind myself. I think I'm gonna do this every 100 days. Like every 100 days, and then on birthdays, I'm gonna be doing this. And this is almost therapeutic. It's kind of nice. But one thing I want to talk about, I made some goals, people. I made some goals. All right, goals for 2022. Are you ready, folks? I said, are you ready? Okay, let's do it. I have to say this out loud for some reason. I've been watching Lego Masters on Fox with Will Arnett. Show's incredible and I love it. But watching Will Arnett, I'm like, oh man, I would love to host Lego Masters. I would love to be Will Arnett. I think I could be an alright Will Arnett. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lego Masters. Alright, the impression is missing something, but it's like, it's in the ballpark. Alright, so, goals for 2022. Be able to dunk regularly. I still can't dunk regularly. I am so close, but I can't. Start a worm bin. Oh, folks, I miss my compost so much. I have 2 full bags of food scraps in the fridge right now, filled with like banana peels, onion bits, potatoes, stuff like that, just filled. So I want to start a worm bin again and get my wormies back. Damn, having a worm bin, man, that's the life. Finish the Clawfus! Guys, I am editing a video on the Clawfus right now. Not gonna lie, I totally forgot that I said this. So when I was like, I'm editing in the Clawfus right now, I was like, how do I know? Anyways, back to Carmi. I love my Clawfus, I'm not gonna lie. Closet office, if you don't know what a Clawfus is, if you're not up to the, if you don't know what the cool kids are saying these days. Bench press my body weight, which is, I guess, 160 pounds. I don't, anyways, Move to a nicer apartment in Atlanta. I want to move to an apartment when this lease is up. My wife and I want to move to an apartment that makes you say, huh, that looks good from afar and up close, unlike my face. Become a regular at the Laughing Skull. The Laughing Skull Lounge is one of the best comedy clubs in Atlanta. I performed there. I did their open mic. I had a great time. Unfortunately, I wasn't asked to come back yet, but that could change. That could change with another performance. Okay, so do 150 open mics. Boom. That's one of my favorite goals this year. I definitely think it's doable, especially if I'm doing 2 mics a night, 3 to 4 times a week. Get drum pad and a kick. So, I really like making funny songs. And I'm not good enough at guitar to play guitar on stage. I'm not good enough at the keys to play keys on stage. I am a drummer. And so what I want to do is get a drum pad so then I can hook up all my songs on the drum pad, right? And then sing and drum a little bit. And oh my gosh, like goal. And along with that goal, so get a drum pad and kick, create hour-long one-man show. I've had this dream in my mind of an hour-long one-man show where it's like majority of it is stand-up comedy, but integrated with songs and maybe some sketches, like maybe some sketches I filmed or something. So create hour-long one-man show. Do stand-up outside of Atlanta. I want to go to like Tennessee. I would love to go to Chicago, New York, stuff like that. Do open mics there just to, explore and just to do more comedy, do more stand-up. Finish Muse Out of This World, a book I got this Christmas from my wife. It's the story of Muse, my favorite band of all time, the greatest band to ever walk the face of the earth. And so I just want to finish that book. Do 5 new Atlanta experiences with my wife. I like that goal. Because one thing we noticed when we were in Los Angeles, we had this bucket list when we were in LA. And our bucket list was like, we want to go to this restaurant. We got to check out this place. I want to buy records from this place. And when we were doing all this stuff, we were like, man, we got to make sure that when we live in Atlanta, we don't wait until we leave to really experience it, Because I lived in LA for 6 years and I experienced a ton, but also there were so many days where I was just in my apartment doing nothing, and it's like experience stuff, So get paid to do stand-up. It will happen this year, mark my words. Go on a trip with Aaron. We got a Southwest card. We want to fly. We want to go on a trip. Create a passive income. I don't know what it is. I saw a video about this guy who was like, I have vending machines and they make me a lot of money. And I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, vending machines create like plastic. That's like all they do. So then I was like, yeah, maybe not a vending machine, but passive income. I would like to get that somehow. Get the new Zelda game. Oh my goodness, guys. If you're a fan of Breath of the Wild 2 has been rumored since like 2018. And this is the year that it's actually coming out. And I am so stoked. Breath of the Wild, greatest game of all time. Do not purchase any new clothing. This year, for 365 days, I will not purchase a single item of clothing except for 1 pair of shoes. The Giannis Antetokounmpo Greek Freak 3s. I will get those shoes, mark my words. Audition for acting jobs in Atlanta. I like that one. Start a journal or a voice entry. I think that'd be really cool. Because I love the idea of a journal and like writing, but my handwriting is terrible. My spelling is atrocious, but I'm really good at talking. I'm good at speaking. And so if I could just, record it, maybe that would work. So 10 ways to become more sustainable. Find 10 ways to become more sustainable. I'm talking things like, right now I use Head & Shoulders. So the idea of like finding a bar of shampoo and finding a bar of conditioner, just like you have a bar of soap. So instead of a plastic bottle, I have that. And like when it comes to getting rice, I normally get rice from Trader Joe's, but then getting rice from Whole Foods and putting it into a jar. Right there, that's like 2 ways that I'm getting plastic out of my life. So 10 ways I can become more sustainable this year. 1 goal, help those around you. Just, something I've seen in Atlanta, just like in Los Angeles, there's a lot of homeless people here. There's a lot. And so I want to just have some spare money on me, just like always have a few singles so that if there's a homeless guy, I can just be like, there you go, friend. See Sam and play tennis. So I want to see my best friend Sam and play tennis. It's a simple goal, but it's on this list because it's gonna happen. Make sketches. Specifically make sketches with this guy, Luke, in Atlanta. Luke is part of this sketch group. I believe it's he and his girlfriend. They're called We're Doing Great Comedy or Doing Great Comedy. And I really want to collaborate with him. We did an open mic together and he's super funny. I would love to do sketches with him. No more swearing on stage. Guys, this is an interesting one because for the longest time, my goal was to be like a Jim Gaffigan or a Brian Regan in the sense that I'm funny, but it's clean funny that everyone in the family can enjoy. And I've kind of lost that a little bit. It's like my material is clean, but every now and then I'll drop an F-bomb. Like pretty frequently, and it's to the point where it's like, that doesn't make sense. Being clean is good for a multitude of reasons. The main reason, honestly, being that you're more bookable. If you work clean, you're way more bookable than a guy who's like always talking about like vaginas and stuff. You're way more bookable if you don't talk about wieners and vaginas. Take a picture every day for a year. I want to have one of those collages, one of those montages where, you're taking a picture in a mirror in different outfits. You're like, I want to have one of those. Mark my words, I will have one of those. I got too close. I became ugly. And for right now, those are my goals for the year. I'm really excited about them. Some goals, I'm like, I don't know if they'll happen. Like bench pressing 150 pounds, 160 pounds. I don't know if that'll happen. But other goals, like doing 150 open mics, getting paid to do stand-up, doing stand-up outside of Atlanta, like all those goals, I'm like, yes, I am going to accomplish those goals this year. Personally, I love goals. I really, really love goal setting. I love specific goal setting. And so the idea that with this list, I'm going to be able to slowly green check by everything, like that's really satisfying me. I've been talking for 20 minutes and I need to edit this morning so I can have it out today. So I think I'm done. But this was really nice. This was really therapeutic. I'm glad I did this. I'm going to do this every 100 days. When it's 900 days until I'm 30, September 28th, 2024. Remember that date, September 28th, 2024. I'll be doing another one. I'll let you know how I'm doing. Hopefully by then I've done sketches. Oh, and I'm also doing a podcast this year. It should be a lot of fun with my brother-in-law, Trey, and friends, Evan and Phil. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun because you know what the world needs right now? More podcasts, folks. Specifically, white comedians talking to you. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Like, subscribe, share, comment, smash the like button. Let me know in the comments if I should get rid of this mustache. I'm probably gonna do it anyways. You're not watching at this point. You are not watching at this point. But if you are, yeah, it wasn't worth it. You shouldn't have watched up to this point. I almost forgot one thing. I don't have a sign off. And that's my sign off. That's how it's done, folks!